So there's been a lot going on in the last couple of weeks regarding motorcycling in New South Wales, from trail bike right through to the racetracks. A lot of it not good, but there is a few positive stories. Let's have a look at those. Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to Roads of Oz, and on this episode we're going to talk about a couple of things that have been happening recently here in Sydney or in New South Wales in general. Wakefield Park announced ceasing of activity, which I'll read the statement from their website. The Benalla Auto Club has made the difficult decision to cease all activity at Wakefield Park Raceway from the 1st of September 2022 until further notice. Circuit management, along with the Benalla Auto Club committee, have come to the unfortunate conclusion that continued operation under the current conditions in which circuit cannot operate for more than 4 days a month is simply not commercially feasible. Benalla Auto Club General Manager Stephen White said the staff at Wakefield Park and the Greater Benalla Auto Club have been the primary consideration during the current turbulent period. Our biggest priority has been ongoing consultation and discussion with our loyal and hard-working team of staff, who are those most affected by the ceasing of the circuit operations, Mr. White said. Unfortunately, we cannot operate economically under the current restrictions, which has left us with no alternative but to cease all activity at the track. Further reaching will be the economic loss to Goulburn and the surrounding community. Mr. White affirmed the BAC's commitment to reaching a solution to the current plight. We remain committed to Wakefield Park and will continue to work with Goulburn Mulwaree Council and our stakeholders. We need New South Wales Government assistance to find a pathway forward for Wakefield Park, he concluded. Quite interesting, considering we're only a few months out from election. You think political parties would be all over this, and mysteriously they're not. Not hearing too much from them, and because there was a ruling by the EPA and Environmental Planning Council, you think your right-wing commentators will be jumping up and down saying it's a big green conspiracy and all these other things, trying to wind everyone up and create more division. But not in this case. It has been radio silence. The only way I found out about this was someone commented on the video I did going back a few weeks, and also various Facebook posts. Now, this is greatly concerning. That means there will be only one main track in Sydney. Now, don't get me wrong, Wakefield wasn't the biggest track, but it was built for amateur races, and that puts more pressure on Eastern Creek. Not only that, there are smaller tracks around, but it will put more pressure on them, so not a good look. Anyway, I hope it gets resolved. It'll be very interesting to see how this pans out. Problem with things like this is those that seem to benefit from this will be sitting quietly, let this all fizzle out, and then they'll sneak in and lining their own pockets, whether it's through redevelopment of the area or surrounding areas. Just funny, I see none of the political parties are touching this, which I find very interesting, which in my opinion tells me they're supported by, they get donations from whoever's responsible. Speaking of cancellation, Sydney Dragway at the last minute cancelled, which was meant to be held last Thursday. Cancelled it right up at the very end. Now, initially I thought it might have been due to bad weather, or worse still, lack of interest, so they couldn't get the numbers, or potentially even COVID and they couldn't get the staff. They were my top three things. But a letter come out that has been circulated, said they couldn't organise the insurance, which I find hard to believe, considering insurance works one of two ways. It's either an annual subscription or an event subscription. Now, if it's annual subscription, they would have had months to get this sorted. So a few questions have to be asked. The other one is, if it was on the event, then surely in their operations, they would have had to have this organised well in advance and not cancel it only a few hours out from the event. Very poor form, and I was very disappointed. I was actually looking forward to going. I was going to be a participant, and instead of me bringing you this video, I would have been bringing you that video of me racing my Grisso down the straight, which is a shame really, because that would have been far more interesting than this. So not only are racetracks now getting shut down, so are national parks and access for registered trail bike users. Now, I saw this going back a couple of years when I was up near Lithgow. I had the police approach me and say, if your bike's not registered, police are going to blitz this area. Now, this is right in the pandemic when there was not much else to do. And in this area, I was seeing dads take their kids trail bike riding, not doing any damage, just riding in nice open areas very slowly, and the kids were having a great old time. But they were going to blitz that. You can't have fun here in Sydney or New South Wales, and they were going to blitz that. Well, looks like we've gone one step further, and looks like they're trying to shut down as much of the park space as possible. There is a motion that is getting presented to State Parliament later on this month, and they've organised a bit of a protest ride, so they're encouraging people with registered trail bikes to get their bikes down and do a parade lap around Parliament. I will have a link down below for that one. I'm going to try and get there myself because I think it's a worthwhile cause. Trail biking is a legitimate hobby, and hobby or sport, depending on how you look at it, and we deserve access to our parklands. That's right, they belong to us, not the government, us. On a happier note, Sydney Motocross Park has reopened, and it was done very quietly. There was no major fanfare. I did not see anything on my Facebook feeds, and it wasn't until I actually had someone tell me it reopened that I started paying attention and seeing trail bikes getting trailered in and out of there. Now, they've got the new website is in the description below. So happy to see that back up and running. It is so vital we have something like that. I don't believe there's any motocross parks in the Sydney area that you can get to as easily as Eastern Creek. They're all a minimum 1 hour and more outside of Sydney. So I hope I can bring you more information as it comes up to all three of those issues. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. As I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have more updates on those stories as they come to light. Me personally, I'd rather be riding and having fun on bikes, but I feel this is newsworthy and it doesn't seem like any of your mainstream media is sharing it. I believe it because it doesn't suit the narrative, but it's a shame because it's going to impact a lot of businesses, and more importantly, it's going to affect a lot of people that actually enjoy this sport. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, give it a share, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It helps out my channel massively. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.